What's up, Bakugan fans? It's D-Heart. Today I have a video that I've been waiting to do for a long time. I'm super excited. It's going to be the strongest Nillius in the Darkest faction for the Pro trading card game. Which one of these Nillius, the cores, the ultras, are going to be the strongest and the best for us to collect when we want to be good playing the Bakugan Pro trading card game. So let's check it out and make that list. We have 4 years worth of Nillius here. Many different Nillius in the same years, spanning 4 years from Battle Planet, Armored Alliance, Secrets of the Geogon, to Bakugan Evolutions. And not only the strongest Nillius with their character cards, but we also have the Evo cards as well. Which Evo cards are the funnest, the best, the most exciting? Which ones should we collect and use? All right, I have 12 Nillius here, and starting at the bottom, perhaps the weakest out of all 12 could be Nillius from Secrets of the Geogon, SG down there at the bottom right. He is really cool in his diamond form right here. This is the version of him that I found in stores. He comes with a shield and a green fist, starts with 300 B and 8 damage. So I'm gonna try to rank these loosely on B power, but damage, this is one of the Nillius that has the most damage. So you can tell that his strategy would be to try to win with damage wins. He comes with that green fist, so if you're trying to go for damage wins, you could roll on a core like this and be at 11 damage, and then go for a damage wins play. And that could make him strong in that sense. But B power wise, he is only getting up to 700 on a core, and there's no bonuses, there's nothing there. You could make him stronger with gears and then still have a really high damage. But he is like the weakest, darkest Nillius that we have, unfortunately. The card art is really cool. I love his drawing in this year 3. He comes with a free reroll, so if you miss the first roll, you can roll again, and that's a good counter to some of the core stealing mechanics that are happening in year 4. So at the bottom of this list, Nillius from Secrets of the Geogon. Although I think personally that in year 3, Secrets of the Geogon, or Geogon Rising, when they made Evos, these Diamond Evos, they are some of the strongest Evos that we have out there as far as value for the energy that you're paying. So this Nillius Diamond Evo is 3 energy. He gets up to 1400 B. That is huge. It's a huge jump from 300 to 1400 for only 3 energy. Still has a built-in reroll, and he goes up 2 more damage to 10. It's enormous. And I wrote on the back of all of these guys, just to try to make sure that I'm accurately collecting the value. 3 energy for another 1100 B and 2 damage comes down to you paying 1 energy for 366 B when you play this Diamond Nillius. So that's better than a lot of action cards out there. It's strong. I think this makes him like the strongest Evo, just pure value wise, if not the second strongest. There's no effects on here, and some of the other Evos do have effects, and we'll look at those. But I love this Evo, and that's a main reason to run Secrets of the Geogon Year 3 Nillius, is if you're running 3 copies of this Evo, because he is strong. So I'm gonna put this back, and we're gonna keep him here, sort of at the bottom, unfortunately. Sorry, dude. All right, next up, we have the maybe second to worst with 2 cool Evos. It is Nillius from Armored Alliance, Year 2. 400 B base, 5 damage, comes with a shield and a fire fist. He can get up to 11 damage for damage wins, and that is competitive. At least it was in year 2. But B power, not strong at all, very low, not competitive, and you're not really using him for his base character card. Now, if we looked at his Diamond Evo, for 200 B and for 4 energy, you can increase to 200 B to 600 B and 7 more damage, getting up to 12 damage. The ratios on the back of this card here is 1 energy for 50 B and 1 energy for 1.75 damage. So even though you're getting up to 12 damage, there's a lot of action cards that can do it better than this Diamond Evo. So it's not the most valuable Evo, but if we look at his other one, Maximus Nillius, for 8 energy, you're getting to 1400 B and 7 damage. So it's an increase of 1 energy for 1.25B, 8 energy for 1000B. This is such a strong Evo because it's rapid fire. The second rapid fire card you play this turn is free. So you can play this Evo for free. You don't have to pay the 8 energy. You can just play it for free when you have a really low cost rapid fire card, like a 1 energy cost. There's a few of those. The caveat is at the end of the turn, if you played this for free, you return it to your hand. So it's strong for a turn, then you put it back. You could roll this guy out turn 1, you play a 1 cost rapid fire card, Maximus Nillious comes in for free, you have 1400B. If you landed on a shield, you're 1800. On a magic shield, you're 2050. That's really strong turn 1, and then you can win and do 7 damage. Very strong. Then at the end of the turn, you put it back in your hand, and you can just keep doing it. You can keep doing it all the way until you get to 8 energy if you want to then play him for free. Or not for free, but play him for 8 energy. So this is a super fun Nillious, and the point is to play him with his Maximus Nillius EVO card. So Armored Elite, those boxes are still online. You can grab those, buy a box, and hopefully pull a few of these really cool Evos. But without the Evos, Nillious is like number 11. Base power is not strong. All right, number 10, who's coming with lots of Evos, and they're gonna be fun. It's Year 1 Battle Planet, or Battle Brawlers, Nillious. So this is the first Nillious we saw. 500B, 2 damage, comes with a Helix and a Green Fist. He's getting up to 1100B and 0 damage at his highest, or he could have a different core that's 500B and -1. He'd be at 1001. Year 1, that was probably okay stats. Nowadays, he's not competitive, so he's pretty low on the list. And then let's look at his Evos and see what's going on here. So first off, we have Hyper Nillious. 3 energy will get you to 803, up from 502. So 3 energy for 300B is not a great value trade. That's 1 energy for 100B. It's not strong. Action cards are better. The Victor effect on this Hyper Nillious, though, says that you can discard a card for 2 extra damage, and you can use that any number of times. So if you wanted to go for a damage wins, even though 3 is pretty darn low, he comes with a Green Fist, so you could be on one of these Green Fists, get up to 6. You discard 2 cards and you're at 10 damage. Year 1 damage wins, that might have been high enough, but nowadays it's just not. This Evo has been power crept out. If we look at the Diamond version, 7 energy for 1500. So that's 7 energy for 1000 extra B and 6 extra damage. That's a lot more value, much better. It's expensive, paying 7 is expensive. If we look at the breakdown, 7 for 1000 is the same as 1 energy for 142B. It's not as good as an action card, so in this case, it still might be good to just use action cards instead of waiting to the 7th turn. Let me know what you think. When he gets to 8 energy, though, he could get up to 11 damage for damage wins, and that's a little bit better, but still not super strong. And then we have the final Evo, Titan Nillious. So for 6 energy, you can get up to 1300B. That's an extra 800B and 2 damage. And the breakdown is 1 energy for 133B, 6 energy for 800 total, and the 2 damage. So it's still not incredibly valuable. The Victor effect we still have here. You can discard a card for +4 energy, or excuse me, +4 damage, and you can use it any number of times you want. So that's stronger. You could land him on your Green Fist. You are at 1400B and 7 damage, and if you want to go damage wins, you can discard 2 cards. You're at 11, and 4 more is 15 damage. That could be really strong for damage wins. It could be strong for Year 1 especially. So that's a fun Evo, Titan Nillious. Unfortunately, base B power, not good, so he's only coming in at like number 10. All right, number 9, we have another Secrets of the Geogon, Nillius Ultra. I have the diamond version here. This guy looks amazing. He looks so cool. I love this version of him. He doesn't double core as easily because his hook is so big in the back that he has trouble picking up 2 cores like some of the other Nillius Ultra. It's not to say he can't do it, although I'm showing now that he just can't, can he? Doesn't really work well. You could get 2 on the back though, so it's difficult to do. I've played with him, against him. It's really hard to get him to double core. So that bonus is sort of out of reach, which means this puts him at like number 9-ish on this list. He comes with 2 shields, 500B, 3 damage. He's gonna get up to 900B and 3 damage on a core. He gets extra damage when he lands on a shield, so he'll be up to 10 damage and 900B. That's pretty strong and balanced, although competitive B power, we're getting up to 15, 16, 17, and even 1800 at this point. So you're not gonna win unless you have a really good hand with action cards, unless you put gears on him, all that kind of stuff. He does have a built-in reroll, so that helps when you're going against core manipulation strategies. But base, he's not that strong. But just like year 3 Secrets of the Geogon, I feel like they did Evos so much better and stronger than the first 2 years, and even year 4 after, I think. They have just strong. The value is incredible. So 8 energy, which is really huge and maybe tough to get to, but you can get from 500 to 2800 B. That is 2300 B for 8 energy, and the breakdown is 1 energy for 287 B. That's almost as strong as a strong action card, one that gives you 1 energy and 300 B. So the value is really cool for this Nillius Ultra. It makes him incredibly strong on the 8th turn. If you're rolling him on a shield, you're at 32. If you roll him on a magic shield that you have from a friend, you are 3450. Like, that's enormous, and your opponents are gonna have a hard time, even after having gears and combos, getting up to 3450. He's going to be doing 5 damage, or if you just stick with this core, you're at 3200 and it's 15 damage. That's really strong. It's cool. It's an end game Bakugan evolution for sure, Evo. I love it. I love the value, and I love that it's strong. So that makes him stronger on the list for me, but unfortunately his base is it just stinks. It's not good at all. So you're only playing this guy if you can try to get his Evo and maybe tease him out early. So he is number 9. All right, number 8, loosely, just focusing on his base character card, is the Fusion, Nillius Enoch, or Nillinok. 500B, 2 damage, comes with a shield and a Fire Fist, and you can fuse him for 4 energy. When you fuse him, he's getting up to only 900, so on a shield, the core that he comes with, he's up to 1307. That's disappointing for having to pay 4 energy to fuse. You would hope that he could get like to 1800 or 2000. It's unfortunate. It's not a super strong fusion, but his base B power of getting up to 900, surprisingly, still puts him at number 8 on this list. He does come with the Evo in Shields of Astroya card set, where he can get up to 1200 B for 5 energy and 8 damage. So that's not a good valuable trade. That's like saying you get 60 B for 1 energy and, 6 damage if you want to calculate that in there too. It's just, the B power is so low to be able to have to pay that much energy. You have to pay 4 to fuse him, then you have to pay 5 more to put the Evo on top, and you're still only getting up to 1600 if you use the core that he comes with. That's terrible value, and your opponent is going to be way further ahead of you in the battle if you're going that route. However, 8 damage, and he has a Fire Fist, so if you're doing all that energy paying, you could get up to 14 energy and win some damage wins at that point. And that's a respectable amount for damage wins. You could win that and do a big hit on your opponent. So take that as you will, but loosely for me, he's number 8 on the strongest Nillius list. All right, number 7, we have Platinum Nillius. Now this one's hard to judge because he has a core manipulation icon down there. He's just not getting very high, but I have 2 versions of him right here, the regular version and the elemental version. Personally, I like the regular version better. I like the purple base that he has here. All black, I don't think it looks as cool, to be honest, but let me know what you think down below. I would choose this one again if I just had to choose one. So his character card, 700B, 2 damage, 2 green fists, and if you land on a green fist, your opponent has to remove their core, and you get to replace it back on the matrix. So you could be at 805, or you could be at 850 and 4, and your opponent doesn't have a core. It's always really, really strong to take your opponent's core. If it was a magic shield, they lose it. If it was a helix, or if it was a core that they needed for a bonus that they had, they lose it. They don't have it anymore, and you get to put it on your side. That's really, really strong. So it's hard to judge that. He could be higher on the list because of it, but if you're going against an opponent that has a base B power of 900 or 1,000, you're still going to be losing the battle. You'd be at 850 and 4, and they'd be 150 up on you. Or you could be at, what's the other core? Where'd it go? Oh, you could be at 850 or 4, or 805. You're still behind. You still have to play cards in your hand to win, and if you don't have those cards, Platinum Nillius, even though you took a core, he's just not going to be strong enough to get you there. So he's a tough one to judge, but I put him loosely here as number 7. Let me know what you think. Do you think he's stronger? Do you think he's worse than that? I don't know. All right, number 6 is an Ultra Nillious from year 1, Battle Brawlers from Battle Planet. So this guy's super cool. He double cores when you roll him. He can pick up cores on both sides. He'll hold it like so. Actually, he won't, huh? That's the other Nillious. You got to roll this guy backwards and then land him, and he'll hold 2 cores somewhat easily, and that was the strategy to play with him. But the cores that he comes with, he has 2 shields. So he gets a core bonus of 400 to go along with the other 600 that comes from the core in his base B power. So he's at 1,006. Year 1, that might have been okay. If he double cores, and if you set it up right, it could be another 400 and be at 1,400, or it could be a magic shield and you'd be at 1,650 if you could manage to double core on these 2. And why don't we just try to do that really quick if you haven't ever played with this Nillious before. We'll close him up, which is also sort of a pain because he's got so many parts in here. See how quickly I can do it. It's not going to be quick. I haven't closed him in a long time, so I'm out of practice with this guy. His feet must have to go first, huh? Everybody who already knows how to close him is over there cringing. Okay, I think we got him. There he goes. So let's roll him backwards. This is forwards, this is backwards. We'll just do it from 3 spaces away and see if we can do this. So 3 spaces away, easy. Actually, he hopped pretty crazy. I don't know if that's as easy as the year 2 Nillious that we're gonna look at in a second, but maybe if you were a lot better at rolling him, it wouldn't be so hard. So there we go. That's this Nillious. And then here are his Evos. It's got some fun Evos. The first one is Hyper Nillius Ultra. 500B, 8 damage, and an 800B bonus when you land on a shield. So you're paying 3 energy for 300 more B, which is not a super valuable trade, but your core bonus doubles. So that's pretty cool. So if you land on a shield, he is at 12 plus 5 is 1,708. So 1,700 from 1,000 is actually 3 for 700B, and that's more than 200B for 1 energy. So that's a somewhat valuable trade. It's a good trade, especially in year 1. So this, I think, would have been a good Evo. You're also at 8 damage, so that's pretty high too. This would have been nice. The other Evo that he comes with is Maximus Nillius Ultra. So this was from Age of Arliss. That was the 3rd set in year 1. He gets up from 200 to 1,000. So 6 energy for 800B and 4 damage, which, you know, if you break it down, 1 energy for 166B is not that great. But the reason you're playing this Evo is so that you can also have the hero Magnus on the board at the same time, and you get another 1,000 B if you're on that shield. So he's 2,400. Actually, you get 2,400 without Magnus, but if you have Magnus, you have 30 damage. So you're 2,400 and 30 damage, and that greatly increases the ratio, you know, that I said back here, to the point where it's very valuable. Let's see what that would be. That's like 1 energy for 400B. 2,400B divided by 6 is 1 energy for 400B. That's an enormous trade. That might be the best ratio and value that we have out of all these Evos. And that's not even counting the 20 extra damage that you're getting with Magnus. So Maximus Nillius Ultra is a super cool Evo, really strong. And if you want to run these guys together, it would not be a waste, even in year 4, coming from a year 1 Nillius. So that's really awesome. But because we're just going on the base stats for now, base, he's still number 6-ish. Number 5, top 5 potentially is Nillius Ultra from Armored Elite. This is year 2, set 1. 600B, 3 damage with a shield and a green fist, and on that shield he's getting up to 1200B and 3 damage. 1200B, you know, you were trying to get to 1250 at least, I think, in year 2. Maybe 1450 and 1500 was the strongest, but 1250 was okay. But this Nillius is awesome because he really double cores easily. So let's do that. We'll close him up. If you double core on a shield to get your bonus, so you're at 1200, and then you double core on a magic shield because you strategically placed it, you'd be at 1850 and 3. So you'd have to share a magic shield from an opponent and then double core. But 1850 and 3, year 2 was amazing. So let's see if we can set this up and do it. The shield will go first, then the magic shield. I can't remember actually now. It's been a while since I've rolled it, so I don't remember, honestly, if it goes forward or backward. So I'm just gonna have to do both. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's backward, huh? Oh, I don't remember. Let's see. This is backwards. Nope, not backwards. Not backwards. And I wonder if this will work if I'm doing it so close. So if it doesn't, maybe I'll flip him around. But because these guys double core so easily, this was such a good mold to go out and get. The Ventus version of this was my favorite because he got 1450 base. And the Ventus version actually double cored much easier. I remember buying this Darkus version, and if you bought him in the Battle Gear pack, it was like a different mechanism. He was tighter when he opened, and it was harder to double core because he just popped so high. And the other versions didn't do that as much. And I gotta hit the roll as I'm trying this, but I can't remember now. So that would have worked. That would have worked. He just slid left. I practiced at one point so much with my Ventus one that it was just like nearly 100% of the time. Now he's popping too hard and he's just jumping over it, but you get the point. This is what it would look like. You'd get to 1850 and 3, but with practice you could be pretty routine with that, so that's cool. Number 5 on the list. And then he has this Evo, Diamond Nillius Ultra, 1200B, 10 damage, so he's increasing 607, and his bonus doubles to 400. So if we do the same thing, if we land him on this core, that's 2000B and 10 damage, and if he double cored, it's 2650 and 10. But the ratio and the value to trade him in, 7 energy for 600B is the same as 1 energy for 85B. So he's still a little bit too expensive to be a really good Evo. But like I said, if you double core with him and practice, he can be strong. You just gotta wait until the 7th turn. But base B power, he's right around maybe 5th place for the strongest Nillius. Okay, these top 4 are where it really makes a difference, and these are the 4 that you should go get for sure if you want to have the strongest Nillius and the easiest way to do it. No double coring, no extra work. You just roll them on a green fist, and Nillius from Bakugan Evolutions, the first one here, just a regular core, he's getting up to 1750 and 5. So he's awesome, he's worth it, he's strong, go get him. Just because it's so easy, he could be a contender for the first place. But you know, top 4, 1 through 4, he's easy, go grab him. He's awesome. Then we have Nillius from Genesis, the collection, the Genesis collection. Genesis Nillius, 2 shields, 700B, 4 damage. His shape, his format, his mold is awesome. I like this. He's getting up to 1804. So 50 more B than the evolution that we just looked at, Bakugan Evolutions. This is EV1, EV2, Genesis, 50 more B, and 1 more damage. You just have to land him on that shield, and he is 1804. So that makes the Genesis collection worth it if you want to have a really good looking and a really strong Nillius for the Pro Trading Card game. So these guys are awesome, easy to go get. They're out in stores now. Then we have number 2, and perhaps number 1. Honestly, it could be number 1 because the next Nillius you have to do a lot more to get his highest score. But this is Mythic Nillius. So this came out a long time ago, 5 Below stores. You might be able to buy him online, or you can just check. I saw recently my 5 Below had one of these guys there as a sort of restock. He was the only one though. But if you land him on a Helix, he's at 1203. You could land him on a second Helix and get to 1800. But when you're landing on that Helix, you can take an opponent's Helix, or you can take an opponent's magic shield, which is even better. So you are 1850 and 3. And you've taken your opponent's core. You've taken their magic shield and they don't have it anymore. This guy is so ridiculously strong. I've used him before. I love him. You could do damage wins with him really easy. I don't have the 303 Helix with me right now. Never mind, I grabbed it. So you could plan this 2 ways with him. You get a B power Helix for the B power wins and get up to 1850 and 3 because you grab a magic shield, or you can do damage wins Helix. You land on this one and you're at 11, and then you take either from a teammate of yours or from your opponent, if you know that they have one of these, a +6 damage. So you are at 17 damage just on the roll, and you're picking up an extra core. It's so strong. He goes both ways incredibly. I think he could be number 1 on the strongest Bakugan list easily. Mythic Nillius. But there's another Nillius that's brand new. Another Platinum Nillius, EV2 down here. So it's a second version of the same year 4 Nillius, although he has a different mold, obviously. And this guy looks really cool. He looks amazing. The colors are awesome, his wings. So he's at 500B, 1 damage, comes with a Helix and a Green Fist. If you land on a Helix, he's at 1100. So that's not strong in itself. His real bonus comes from you picking up a Helix and a Green Fist, and that can be done with cars that pick up cards that pick up extra chords. And you would be at a whole bunch. With so many things to add up right now. So 1500, 2100, 2250. 2250 and 0 damage if you land on these cores, or you could be 2200 and 1 damage with this core if you get all these on the same time. So Platinum Nillius EV2 potentially is the strongest, darkest Nillius Bakugan. He's super cool. He'd be super fun to have. You could use that strategy and build your deck so that you can get that bonus easily. Or you could just roll with Mythic Nillius, go grab him from 5 Below online, or go check a store, and you're at 1850 and adding and picking up cores. So that's what I got for the strongest Nillius. Let me know what you think. Which ones do you have? Which ones do you like? And which ones do you use in your decks now? Let me know how you would change this list. Thanks for watching. More lists like this coming soon.